Hey class, Dr. Stevens here. Just another comment regarding the Trident gum discussion. That was meant to be sort of fun and silly. I hope you thought so. There were some good comments on that in the discussion, and realizing that's just a TV commercial, but I've always thought that was kind of a fun representation of how silly perhaps research can be, in that they're actually trying to make a claim to convince their consumers to use their product. Now, the Trident commercial is funny and such, but we are on the receiving end every day of that, of someone trying to convince us of something based on some kind of research, whether it's a medical product. When you read or when you see a TV commercial for some sort of medication, their disclosures are lengthy and they've got all kinds of information in that commercial that you probably don't need to know, but of course they want to avoid liability and all that sort of thing. So that brings up the question of, we are consumers of research, and how well informed are we when it comes time to actually make a decision that could be an important one. Now, with chewing gum, nobody cares. That's not important. And I think they understand that. They realize that which chewing gum you select is not going to have an effect on your life, and they sort of make light of that. But on other products that could have an impact, we probably should be a little bit better informed on how we receive the research that they're claiming that has taken place. Now, so the question of the Trident discussion was, what were some of the things that we ought to consider when we are consuming research? And in that particular case, the silliness of it was that the fifth dentist was being bit by a squirrel and caused him to shout no. And so the researcher took his answer, his shouting of no, to be his actual answer. Well, haha, it's funny. But, if they really were seriously trying to portray that there has been research done on the recommendations of professionals for the use of a product, we really ought to be concerned with how they did that research, what methods they used, who they surveyed, and so on, and what were the qualifications of the researchers, as opposed to just accepting it as they feed it to us. So that was sort of the purpose of that discussion. But every day in life we are recipients of research, and it's presented to us in a variety of ways, and certainly we're not going to be able to dig down and find the deep, dark truth of every research effort that has been done. But if we have a general knowledge, and we know about sampling, and we know about bias, and we know about some of those things that we've talked about in this course, then at least we are well enough informed that we can maybe ask some questions and get some helpful answers that might help us to be better consumers of both the research itself and whatever it is that research is trying to convince us to believe. So just my general thoughts on that. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you noted also that in one of those interviews, the supposedly qualified dentist made some comments that was seemingly contradicted what 4 out of 5 dentists might recommend. So that's just an example of both validity and reliability. Validity relates to how accurate is the information, was the information measured, how accurately did the research method measure the reality of the situation. And then reliability pertains to, if you were to attempt to duplicate that, would you get the same results again? And in many cases you won't, and that's fine, because it might not even be possible to get the same result. But if a research is reasonably reliable, you would expect to see somewhat similar results if you attempted to repeat the research under similar circumstances, but with different populations. So anyway, just some thoughts on that. I hope you enjoyed that Trident discussion. It was just meant to be fun, and so I hope it was for you. So take care.